Hi everyone, Jamie here with Sweet Pickens. Welcome to our porch. I am so glad you're here. So yesterday you guys saw on stories that I talked about redoing and giving our porch an uplift, makeover. And so that is what I've done. So I put the stories on Instagram and Facebook. If you're not following us there, just go and type in either one, Sweet Pickens, Pickins, Reno. Just type that in and you will find us there and you'll see our stories. You could have seen yesterday what our porch looked like before and what it looks like today. It is a little windy out here. The sun is shining through. You can see it hitting my shirt through the trees. It's beautiful here in northern Nevada. Everything is blooming and it is supposed to be over 80 degrees today, which is absolutely shocking. So I wanted to show you guys what I did with the porch, what you guys can do with your porches and do it on a budget. So let's talk about a few things that I added to the porch and a few things I changed about the porch. And then we're going to talk about you recreating and doing things on your porch. So a lot of this stuff you're going to see I've already had. I've repurposed it other places or I've been storing it and I brought it out. This bench I picked, it is a vintage bench. I picked it for $20 about 5 or 6 years ago at an estate sale. It's chippy peely. It is so fabulous, so perfect, and has so much character. So I thought this would be a great addition. Then I added these are indoor cushions. Now they don't cover the whole bench. I do have a bench cushion, but I really didn't want to use that because it was gray. And I really wanted to sit with just soft tones on the porch, and I'm going to tell you why in a few minutes. So on these are actually indoor cushions. I did purchase those yesterday. I paid $20 for 2 of them. They have lots of different eyelets and crocheting, and they have the most beautiful floral pattern, and they're done on a really soft seafoam green. I mean, when I say soft, I mean really soft, because I'm not necessarily one to go for that color, but these were a perfect addition. $20 for 2 I thought was totally reasonable, and they matched the whole flow. So the one big thing that I added that I've been wanting to do for so long is curtains. As you can see, I actually have added curtains on both sides of these windows. So I've taken indoor curtains and added them out here. I did purchase those yesterday for $14 and I bought the rod for $6. So $20 and $20. So I spent $40 yesterday. That is what I have spent to update the porch, and I'm able to use a lot of things I already have. So curtains, I've been wanting to do curtains. Now, I know they're soft, they're light, they're not bold, they don't stick out. I have to say, we live in an HOA, so I try not to ruffle their feathers too much. I know the porch is they're probably like, oh, that girl and her porch. So I wanted to do soft curtains out here, and they're sheer. They came with 2 panels. So I would have loved to have maybe something really bright and vibrant and some big florals for spring and summer. However, I thought about 2 things. First of all, the HOA was first and foremost. Secondly is I don't want to have to take these down and change these out, because that is when your investment starts getting expensive. So trying to add some inside elements out here, but on a budget, is let's find something that we can use year round, and something that is sheer like this and has like just simple lines. It was perfect. So they are in the cream, like a vintage cream color. They are perfect. So there is one on each side. So the big plant in the pot, I kept that there. And then I added some flowers and some greenery and all these cute signs and the clock. All that I already had. So you'll have probably seen a lot of those things. And then I added some little fun elements. I want to show you one thing that I added here that is really, really fun and means so much to me, is this brick. Yes, it's just a brick, but it is in the shape of Nevada, and I found it this way. This came back off of the machine shop from the early 1900s here that they took down last year. It was actually a year ago this month that they took it down, and I picked and sifted through. I was filthy from head to toe. It still has all the dust on it and everything from the machine shop and them dropping all this stuff, but it is in the shape of Nevada. Now, is it perfect? Not perfect, but perfect enough for me. So I tried to add little elements that were meaningful, maybe, you know, talked a little bit about history here, and just helped make the porch what it is. I did add, you cannot see, but I've got 2 rugs down here. I layered 2 rugs. And then of course, my iconic lamp. You have to have a lamp on your porch. Let me come over here. So I have a lamp, and I've had a lamp on my porch for so long, you guys. I thought the HOA was really gonna nail me to the wall. This is the first, like, okay, let me bring a little something from inside outside. So I picked this lamp. Actually, I was out picking many years ago, found this lamp. I said, oh my gosh, totally not my style, but it is going to be perfect for our porch. I turn it on every night, so it just gives such an ambiance look out here. And then of course I have some flowers in a bucket. And again, these are items from inside that I brought out here. And then of course, my really super cute church that is a birdhouse. So I just tried to add elements that I love and that mean something to me and just feel good. So I layered it with an old crate. I've got the fabric, you know, curtains here. I've got real greenery. So let's talk about that. So you see flowers up front here. These are pots that stay out. I just leave the pots here and I fill them with flowers. So my porch, this is about as much sun as my porch gets. It's the way our house is. Our house does not give, I live in a neighborhood. I wish I lived in a farmhouse somewhere out in the country, but I don't. I live in the neighborhood. We're so grateful for our home. And you know, the thing is we don't get a lot of sun on the porch. Honestly, it's really good, but it's not good when you want to add real elements. So this shrub here has done okay. Shrub is probably 8 years old. It's barely grown because it doesn't get a lot of sun, but it still thrives out here. I water it, it gets a little bit of reflective sun, and that's it. However, I can't have flowers. So I have added faux flowers. Some people just really cringe at faux flowers, but for me, in a space where I can't have real flowers, I want to add some really pretty elements to our home. And by doing that, I just do faux flowers. Now, I'm really picky about my faux flowers because I want them to look real, and I want them to look pretty, and I want them to look inviting. I don't want them to look plastic or just, what is that? You know, but flowers, fake flowers have come so far from the 1970s, right? So I always add flowers in. The flowers over here, the greenery over here is not real. And then this is the only real element, and this is in a whiskey barrel down here. So this is a way to add flowers, add some color without adding real flowers. Whether you want to spend the money or not, this is just a way. So let's talk about that a little bit. So there are some benefits to adding faux flowers opposed to real flowers. Let's admit it, real flowers are so darn expensive. You can buy seeds and start flowers. That is more economical. I will tell you though, holy moly, y'all, seeds have gone up so much. So I just bought all my pumpkin seeds for the garden in the back, and I cannot believe how much they have gone up. I bought some seeds for the garden bed that we built last year, and I'm currently building another flower bed back there to have a small flower garden. Yikes, seeds are so expensive. So the way to really maximize your budget is by adding faux flowers. What I do is in the winter, I pull all these flowers up. When fall comes, I'm getting ready So it's not even winter. I don't wait till winter. When it's time to decorate for fall, I pull all these flowers up, I put them in a bag, I dust them off, clean them off, get them all ready for the next season. And yesterday I pulled out that bag and I got all my flowers out and they still look perfect. I'm gonna probably get 5 or 6 seasons out of these flowers. And then of course you're gonna have to rebuy, but man, it's so much cheaper in the long run doing this than it is buying real flowers. So if you have a porch, whether or not it gets sun or not, and you just want to add a little bit of color, think about faux flowers because it is budget friendly. If you want a really cozy, cohesive, just really pretty porch, I will say the key to getting that is bringing outside or inside elements outside, and that is by indoor cushions. So these are not outdoor cushions because you know they're never that pretty. They never have a lot of fabric on them. Our porch is covered. Yeah, it does get some elements, but they still are somewhat protected. So by adding just a little bit of textile like that, it just really elevates. Taking these curtains. Who thought about putting curtains on your windows outside? Right? It's just my wacky brain. I think of these things and I was like, no, I want curtains. I know that I have to do it within, reason for the HOA, but I was like, let's bring those from inside out because they are inside. And this way you get that pulled together look. A lamp. What a cute addition to your porch to have a lamp out here. You could turn on at night. I turn it off in the morning. It just gives a nice glow. We do use our porch lights. We have lights up above. We do use those every night, but this is just a nice little cozy glow. So you could come out here, you could sit, I could get on my computer, I could read. The thing with adding elements from inside out just creates a very cozy, cohesive, inviting space that you actually want to spend time. Because listen, the reality is yeah, I want this to look really cute for our neighborhood and our house, our home. I want it to just look nice, but I also want it to be functional, right? I want it to have a purpose. So now we can sit here, and I have to say these cushions are super lofty, so they're way comfortable. And I could listen to the birds. I could watch the birds. We have a family of owls out here, and we have these little tree lizards, fence lizards, or whatever you call them, these small little lizards running around, and then the bunnies come out, and it's like we live in a zoo, really, honestly. So the reality is it's just happy and cozy, and by bringing the inside elements out and adding some color and telling a story is how you get this. So guys, think about your porch. What can you do to your porch? How can you make your porch more cozy? You don't have to go buy a lot of stuff. Start looking at what you have in your home, shop your home, start seeing things that you can bring out, right? Just start doing that. And then what you do is you clean off your porch really good. I washed all the windows, and I washed the windows on this faux door over here, which is a vintage door out of a really old home here. And I just love that as an extra, just character, color. I love it. So the reality is clean everything up, grab a whole bunch of things, and just start putting it together until it makes your heart happy. It does not have to look perfect for anybody but you. And if you get it together and you're like, it's just not working, it's okay. Just start over or move some elements around. And the thing is you can change these out. I could change these cushions out if I want. I could change out the curtains, which I won't, but I can change out my flowers just to give it a little bit different of a look as time goes on. And in the fall, I do add fall flowers to here, and then obviously once winter hits and we switch over to Christmas, then I take all flowers out. But I'll do sunflowers and I'll do all the fall colors and flowers out here. And I probably will add some real greenery or flowers. I just will have to kind of push those out, tuck those out, put those around the other side of the porch where there is more sun, and they'll do great. So guys, thank you for coming to my porch. Thank you for asking all the questions you did about my porch. And it does look night and day compared to what it was before. I had a potting bench out here, and I had all these fun things layered, which I do. I still have things layered underneath this bench. I still have a lot of layering, but now it's functional. Before it was cute, but now it's functional because you do have a bench, and you know, you've got space where I could just pull my little table up here, have a little sweet tea, and work on my computer. It's just great. So definitely start looking at your house, start looking at your porches, and it could be your back porch you do this to too. It doesn't have to be your front porch, but just start looking at what you have in your house, look at your space, see what you want to create, what you like. And guys, it is getting so nice. So what does that mean? Garage sale season. I know I do a lot of picking in different places, but I do hit garage sales too. Start looking for garage sales. You know what would have been really cute here is a wicker bench. So if you find a wicker bench out, add wicker bench. Baskets. I really wanted to add some elements of baskets, and I wasn't able to this time. However, I may eventually add a few baskets out here. I love the look of baskets. And I did add this really cute sign, the porch where you sit and relax. I did add that to this big lamp that I have plugged in. It's a really big lamp. It's an outdoor lamp, and actually I picked it up at a thrift store many years ago, and it's just perfect out here. So I'll light that also. So actually we have 2 lights and then our above lights. So, you know, the thing is you just have to see what you have to work with first, your space, and then just start grabbing things. Because I know you guys probably have, you know, pillows or cushions and maybe some old curtains and some, you know, greenery or shrubbery or flowers or whatever you have sitting in your home. Maybe an old lamp, add that. Maybe a small little table, add that. So I didn't really have room for a table, so I just added an old crate. And honestly, the crate is so broken down, it's missing pieces, but it works perfectly out here. So that's what you guys could do. So I would love it if you guys redo your porch, and hopefully I've inspired you a little bit to do that. Shop your home first. Send me pictures on Instagram and Facebook. I would love to see them, or tag me on there, and I would love it. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, we have shopsweetpickens.com. We also have a brick and mortar here in Sparks, Nevada. You can shop 7 days a week. We are inside the painted tree. When you walk in, we're the back left corner, country music playing with a big chandelier. And then you guys, don't forget, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Sweet Pickens Reno, and it's Pickins Reno, and you could follow us there as we do stories and we do things every single day on there. I love to share all these with you, and then if you ever have an idea or an idea for me, send it along our way. So guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next video.